Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Dimmitt Chevrolet in Clearwater, Florida, and guess what? We have something all new from Chevrolet, and it's this bad boy right here. This is it. This is a 2024 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD, but guess what? This is not your regular heavy-duty work truck. This is a 2500 HD ZR2. But before we get into this full-on off-road, full-on heavy-duty truck, let's talk about what's going on here. It's interesting to see how these off-road trims are spreading throughout many different styles of truck. Once upon a time, you would never think about taking a 2500 series truck of any kind and going off-roading with it. But Chevrolet wants to push the envelope, and that is what they have done with this ZR2. So what you're gonna find is special suspension, special protection underneath it, and capability that's gonna blow your mind. But what I wanna find out is, if you're looking for that HD truck, is this worth the price at the end of the day? Especially over the competition? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our Silverado HD ZR2 and find out. Right off the bat, this color. I'm really digging it. New for 2024. At the front of the business, you see our restyle headlight design that we've had. LED daytime running lamp, turn signal, and your double stuff, double stack Oreo cookie LED headlights. Now my big zonk is you do have a large fake vent here. Not my favorite. But the good news is as we drop down, we have metal bumpers and you have LED fog lamps, which are really nice. Of course, you're gonna get the bright red recovery hooks, pull those lesser trucks out of the mud, out of the dirt. We got the ZR2 badge, first time ever seen on a 2500 HD. A ginormous bow tie, Chevrolet bow tie that Flava Flav would actually wear around his neck. Gloss black, but the great news is it's all fully functional, and you have a huge, massive hood scoop that is also functional. I like the way they stamped the Chevrolet name in there. Heartbeat of America. That's it right there with your bulge. And then working our way back down, let's talk about what's going on down here. Love the metal gloss black painted bumpers. We have 11.2 inches of, I'm getting all choked up, 11.2 inches of ground clearance underneath this thing. I actually drove over Steven while he was holding the camera, while he was laying down on his back. It didn't even touch him. Crazy. You get real deal metal skid plates underneath to protect the underside of the engine, the fuel tank, all those goodies, and then wait until you see the suspension we're using. As we take the elevator back up, boop, boop, that ginormous hood, underneath it we have Duramax. Show them, Steven, on the side. We have that Duramax turbo diesel engine. Love the way they put that badging on the side. Very nice touch. And as I come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? So you're gonna get special wheels, special tires. 18-inch wheels with the ZR2 name kind of embossed on them. You're gonna get these 33-inch Wrangler Goodyear off-road tires. Love the way it's got that shielding all the way around. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this? 305s on the width and a meaty 70 series sidewall. But I like the gloss black wheels with this particular paint job. And of course, you're gonna get that full protection from the side. You'll also notice, Steven's gonna zoom back in here, show you the upper control arm. We have the multi-matic. Remember how I told you about special suspension? You can see the bright blue and some of the gold of the multi-matic suspension in there. That is special dual spool valve technology that's gonna give you such a good ride on road, but then it's also gonna do the business when you go off-road. Besides the Allison Duramax badge up top, of course you're gonna get ZR2 on the side badge, looking great. You have your LED lighting in your side mirrors with some painted black, 360-degree cameras, which are really nice. I wish they would have blacked out the 2500 HD badge. That to me is a zonk. Why do we have a chrome badge here? That doesn't make sense, especially when you have gloss black door handles. and then wait for it. You ready? Watch this. I'm gonna open up the door. Power dropping running boards, which you are definitely gonna need on this truck because it is a climb to get in there. You close the door and those are just gonna suck right back in. Look how smooth that is. Really cleans up the side of the truck. I love the way they have a side step for that easy access. Just climb in. I know some people are all about easy access. I know Steven loves easy access things. That's really gonna help you get into the bed. Coming towards the rear, you notice our box frame, steel box frame. There's our Multimatic suspension at the rear. They actually repositioned the suspension compared to your standard 2500 to give you greater approach and departure angles. And if you don't know what I'm talking about approach, departure as you're going off-road. Swinging around the back, you do get your corner steps, and what's nice is that they're big enough for a work boot, steel toe boot, clown shoe, whatever you have, flip-flops, plenty of room. And then I like how clean the back, but like I said, why don't I have blacked out badges? That to me is a missed opportunity. Of course, you're gonna get full towing capability. This ginormous, you could actually put a softball in there and fire it at the vehicle behind you like a cruise missile for that outlet exhaust for the turbo diesel engine. And of course, we have our multi-function tailgate. Drop it down, and then you could drop it down even more. Watch this, you ready? Boop, look at that. And then you have a nice step action. In the back of the bed, they actually are testing the all-weather floor mats. So those are the all-weather floor mats. They're testing them out in the all-weather conditions here in Florida. You do have LED lighting, home power source, nice bed liner, power sliding rear cab window, and tons of tie-down locations. So whatever you're hauling, you could haul it with security and be not worried about what's going on at the tail end of the business. But why don't we go ahead, let me get this all back together. We're gonna pop that ginormous hood and take a look at that Duramax turbo diesel engine. Let's get to it. All right, guys, we got that ginormous hood open. Underneath the hood, Steven is gonna earn his money today with his fancy camera work because we have that Duramax turbo diesel engine. So what is it? 6.6 liter diesel V8, turbo diesel V8, 470 horsepower, 975 pound-feet of torque. Is made into a 10-speed automatic transmission. If you're gonna drag race this truck, 0 to 60 in 6.6 seconds, it is top speed governed to 98 miles an hour. The truck weighs 8,605 pounds, but can tow over 18,000 pounds. So think about this. This could be the ultimate toy hauler, but it also can do the business when it comes to off-roading. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up that Duramax and hear if it makes those diesel noises. All right, guys, we are inside this Chevrolet Silverado ZR2, and this is not your normal ZR2. This is your 2500 HD ZR2. One thing I want to make a correction before I forget, because I know everybody's going to put me on blast. That's what my students used to say to me when I used to teach high school. Mr. Rady, why don't you put me on blast? The tires are 35-inch tires. I think I might have said 33-inch. Everybody's entitled to one mistake each day. Steven already used his as soon as he showed up. I haven't used mine yet, so that's my one mistake for the day. But let's get down to business. MSRP, I know you're wondering, because you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, this truck is big. I have to let everybody know that I mean business and I got to have a big truck. So how much is this? MSRP, the way this one is spec'd, $87,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. I like what Chevrolet is doing with the two-tone materials. The light gray, the neon stitching lets you know that this is a ZR2. And I like the up top on the top portion of the door panel, that Material is almost like a wetsuit material, like neoprene, very easy to keep clean. Door pocket is huge. You're looking at, you could fit easily 2 meatball subs from Subway. Tell them to throw in an extra ball on each sub and you could fit it in there. Plus 2 cup holders large enough for some sun-kissed orange soda, and you have the Bose sound system. Going from the door panel to the dash, check it out. More stitching, more of that great material. Look at this, watch this. Peekaboo. You have your Twinkie storage. Baker's dozen of Twinkies easily goes in that place. Closes up, and then you slide on in. You have that over 13-inch infotainment system. And I think the most important thing are the cameras. Not only are they plentiful, but also clear as freaking day. I mean, look at this. There's those 35-inch tires. There we are out the front. Looking at when you're hooking up your hitch, all the good stuff. So they got you covered, and you even have in the back. See how we're doing the weather testing? That's what they're doing here at Dimmitt Chevrolet to those all-weather floor mats. They resist pine needles. The pine needles don't even go close to them. Leaves are a different question. Working your way down, we got real toggle switches. You got 2-speed transfer case, lock the rear diff, hill descent control, traction control off, exhaust braking, a real volume knob. I do like this trim, by the way, especially with the black chrome finish in here. Dual climate control, USB-C, USB-A, and you got heated and ventilated seats, 3 stages each. Look at this. This is the Long John Silver's party tray. You can get your hush puppies, some fish sticks and fries in here, and you mix it all up, and then you could have your lunch. On the side, you could put some protein bars. I know Steven has been working out, trying to get swole. He put some of his Metarex bars there. 2 cup holders for your muscle milk, right, Steven? Drink it up. Muscle milk does a body good. You got your Chevrolet key fob. Spin it around. You do have remote start, which is nice. Wireless charging. More padded, nice material with the stitching. Open this up. USB-A, USB-C. You do have a 12 volt in here. Excuse me, not 12 volt. This is a home power source. How dare I? I just made another mistake. Now my day's really ruined. But anyways, what's great about this is you could put your NES games in here. You could stack about, I would say, 5 of them. And then you could put your Game Boy cartridges on each side. And then in here, you could easily put 1 NES, 2 game controllers, and the Power Glove. Do you remember that? The Power Glove? Those were the days. They're all fit in there. And then the material on the seats, the leather. Love the way they did the design, the nice bolstering. Full power assist for the passenger, which also means full power assist for the driver. Where they let me down on this interior, standard size sunroof. On this big freaking truck, that would have been a nice touch. But they do finish it off with a digital rear view mirror. Look at those trucks. Can't even see the cars next to them because the trucks are so big. Come on over here. I want to show you some big things behind the wheel in this ZR2. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings. And what's nice is as you walk in, you're going to be reminded that you got a ZR2 because you have the ZR2 on the sill plate down there. Easy to get to buttons for lower lumbar support. There's your power seat controls. I'm 6 feet tall. If you need more room, I don't know what other truck. I think you're going to have to get like a dump truck or something because there's tons of room in here. Unless you're 10 feet tall, maybe then it would be tight. Steering wheel, you do have leather all the way around. It is a heated steering wheel, and I like the way it's got flat black on all the buttons. You do have a manual tilting and telescoping wheel, and you have all your 4x4 controls with that 2-speed transfer case, easy to get to, mode selector switch, and then a nice digital gauge cluster. I like how clean it is, well laid out. Plus you have a 15-inch head-up display, and if you're wondering what the stick thing is over here, this is actually the column shifter for your 10-speed automatic transmission. But it's not just about the people up front, even though it should be because they're the ones driving. Let's get into the back seat and see how your passengers are going to enjoy this 2500 HD ZR2. All right, guys, back seat time in this Silverado 2500 HD. Same thing as up front. If you need more room back here, my advice is just drive around in a freaking mobile home because I don't know how much more room you need, but there's plenty back here. You got large pockets. Put at least 5 Nathan's hot dogs back here. I know Steven's gonna be trying out for the Nathan's hot dog eating competition next year, July 4th, 2024. Mark your calendar. Steven is gonna be competing in that against Joey Chestnut. You could do it, Steven. We got 2 cup holders back here. You do have 3 stages of heated seats, USB-A, USB-C, and 2 air vents, which are nice AC vents. The seats back here are ultra comfy, and I love the amount of room that you have. Pull this down, nice Charmin soft armrest, 2 cup holders, and then I love the way you got the storage in the backs of the seats. Such a smart use of the space. Great place to hide gifts for people, because remember, it's better to be a giver than a taker. Remember that, everyone. And then if you really have lots of things you need to give away, you got plenty of storage underneath. This is actually all the directions on how to drive your Silverado, step by step. So in case you are confused about something, they got you covered. But speaking of driving, why don't we go ahead, let's get behind the wheel of this thing and go on throttle in this ginormous ZR2. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Silverado HD ZR2. What's great is you're gonna love how this truck drives. It does such a great job on paved roads that when you go off-roading, it just takes it to the next level. But what's great about the Multimatic suspension is that it gives you that great duality in using this as a daily driver, but then also doing the business when you're going off-roading. The fact that it could tow over 18,000 pounds is mind-boggling. But the fantastic thing is when you get out onto the highway, it drives so smooth. And yes, you do get a little bit more road noise. There's no way around that with those Goodyear Wrangler off-road tires. But the great news is it's not too bad. Getting to the infotainment system, well within reach. You have your nice large storage compartments, beautiful digital gauge cluster, 15-inch head-up display, and just a comfortable, great environment to do whatever you need to with your truck, whether it's work, whether it's play, whether it's off-road, whether it's taking your favorite person out to dinner, picking the kids up from school. This truck really does it all. I like how the steering feels. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. It's like that Goldilocks of steering. And visibility, I mean, with the ginormous side mirrors, when you have those fully extended, the truck is as wide as a modern day school bus, and I'm not exaggerating one bit. But what's great about this truck is to get to the off-road places, you're gonna be able to do it in comfort and style, and that's what that dual spool valve technology that Multimatic designs is such a great setup for when you need to do truck stuff, even when you're doing daily driving. I think the nice thing is the way this truck is set up with all the safety features, the lane keep assist, the blind spot monitoring, all those safety features, it's actually not that hard to drive. I think the hardest thing that you're gonna have to get used to is parking. But other than that, driving this thing is a piece of cake, and it's very, very comfortable. That turbo diesel Duramax engine has so much torque down low. And then of course, the 10-speed automatic shifts very well. It's not chasing through the gears. And it just does a great job. But of course, over any kind of rough pavement, it just absorbs it like a big old sponge. And it just has a real presence to it as you're going down the road. Brakes feel great. You do have, like I said, the exhaust braking feature on this because it is a turbo diesel engine. And the nice thing is you're not getting too much of the clatter, the traditional diesel clatter. You're not getting too much, but it is there, which is nice. But the fact that it's got heated seats, ventilated seats, dual climate control, so much great technology on the interior. And then of course you got all of the off-roading goodies that you come to expect. Let's go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. Quite impressive being able to do 0 to 60 under 7 seconds for a vehicle that weighs almost 9,000 pounds. I mean, that's pretty darn good. And then of course getting onto the highway with those extra large mirrors. Nice to be able to just get right into your lane. And then you go on throttle to do the passing. Really, really nice setup. But that's what makes this truck so interesting, is that even though it is ginormous, it's easy to drive and it's easy to get around. And I think you're really gonna enjoy that when you get behind the wheel of it. But hopefully this has been a good overall review of this Silverado 2500 HD ZR2. We're gonna get back to Dimmitt Chevrolet and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here at Dimmitt in Clearwater, Florida. Definitely got to thank Raheel, Eli, and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2024 all-new 2500 HD ZR2. Let me know what you think. For what you're getting, do you feel it's worth the price? Let me know in that comment section. But we got to wrap it up here. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Of course, we need to give it up, Stephen Flood Photography, doing the business like the champ that he is. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.